Well, welcome to the Allen Americans podcast. I'm very proud and honored to have along with us today former Ice Angel Brooklyn, of course, part of the alumni. And as you can see, she's wearing something very special. Is it Mrs. Collin County?
Yes, it is. Hi, Tommy. I have missed you so much. Thank you for having me on today.
Well, it's great to see you. Of course, I keep up with you and Eddie and the kids on social media. And boy, I'll tell you what, the kids are getting so big. It's amazing because it seems like just yesterday that you were around the arena and you had a little helper behind you, not so little anymore.
No, not at all. So when I first started with the Allen Americans, gosh, that was back in 2012, and
Oh
Rain,
my.
oldest, was only one. She was a year old, and so she's 9 now. So I have been around you guys for 8 years, and then I've added 2 more kids.
Well, you know what? It always you get bigger and better, right? And for you and the family, it's definitely gotten bigger and better. Well, we've got a lot to cover here. First of all, let's talk about your days as an Ice Angel because
Yeah.
you were one of the most popular Ice Angels of all time. People loved you. They still do. They still talk about Brooklyn. We got to know you because, as you mentioned, you worked with us in the front office.
Mm-hmm.
Reflect on those days and what did that mean to you, first of all, in your life at that age? And how much do you still think about those great days dancing for the Allen American?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I joined the Allen Americans family back in 2012. I had just moved to Texas with my family in June of that year. So we were brand new to the area. I come from Tampa, Florida, and I had a dance background there. I actually started my dance career with the NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And so when we moved to Texas, I knew I wanted to continue with that type of career. And God's path brought me to the Allen Americans, and it is some of my most cherished memories there on that rink with my family. So the former Ice Angels, I call them family. I have made some of my best friends that I literally talk to every single day still through the team. Like you mentioned, I got to work with the staff, which was amazing. I was the only female employee in the front office at the time. And so I got to, wrangle all the guys and work with the players. And it was a big growing experience for me too. I got to do things that I would have never dreamt about doing. We traveled to Mexico for a calendar shoot. We visited children's hospitals to deliver toys. And I mean, just so many great memories. And a part of me still misses it, but I'm also old and I got a lot of kids now. So everything has its season, but I still, anytime I'm welcomed back, I get to sing the anthem, usually once or twice a season. It always makes me have these warm and fuzzies come back.
Well, first of all, you're not old. I can tell you that right now. And those were some great memories. You were a part of some championship teams there, which I know, means the world to you. You'll take that with you forever. But you were also, as you mentioned, the calendar. That was a big deal. And I remember and Stephanie has done such a great job on those calendars for years. But that was always a big deal to find out what month you were going to be and to see how that photo looked. And I know Stephanie kept it a big secret from you guys. Do you have your favorite calendar, favorite month that sticks out in mind?
Man, so I was graciously appointed the cover quite a few times. So
Absolutely.
out of the 3 years I danced, I actually was on the cover every year. My first year, it was with 2 other ladies, dancers. My second year, it was me and the other captain, Brittany. And then the third year, when I came back after taking a year off, when I came back, the cover was the entire team. So I think I can say I'm the only Ice Angel that has been on all the covers for when she was a dancer, which is really cool to say. But I think my favorite photo, and it's for a funny reason, is the calendar from 2015, 2016, because I was the month of June, and during that shoot, I was actually pregnant and didn't know.
No, nobody knew.
No one knew. So it wasn't something that I had planned. We were going through fertility troubles trying to have our second child. And that's why I took a year off in between dancing. And when I decided to come back, I just kind of left it in God's hands and said, you know what? I'm not done dancing. Let's step away from the treatments and shots and doctor's appointments, and let's just do something I love to do. And it really was when you go, let God, he did it. And I was pregnant in Mexico. So it's just fun because my son was actually born in June of 2016, which is the month of the calendar that she put me on. So it's a funny little story, and it'll be my favorite photo forever.
That is awesome. Not to mention the fact that you talked about 2015-16, which was the Americans' first championship in the ECHL with that big, exciting Game 7 win over South Carolina. Oh, man, so many great memories from that night, Brooklyn. The girls on the ice, the guys on the ice, the staff on the ice celebrating. You know, we were a little spoiled here in Ellen. And I think it wasn't until, yeah, definitely. And it wasn't until Brooklyn, we didn't make the playoffs, not this year, but the year before. And that really hit hard. I mean, we got a little, as we mentioned, a little spoiled here, not only, making the playoffs, but also bringing a few rings home. When that was happening, did any of the girls, or, did you ever talk about that, of, wow, this is pretty incredible run that we're on? Not to mention the fact, back in the day, the Ice Angels always won best dance team in the old Central League. So you guys were obviously the cream of the crop and the best in the business.
Yeah, it's all due to Stephanie DiBiase-Leach. She is the director of the Angels. She has been for 10 seasons. And I came in, I believe it was her second, maybe third season. I could be wrong. But that was the first year, 2012, 2013 is when we won our first championship. And again, it's something that I will never, ever forget, being a part of that. And then I just was lucky enough to literally start the year we won and then finish the year of number 4 four-peat. And so I don't think why I was in it that I fully appreciated the magnitude of how awesome it was to win back to back to back. But now look at other sports, we're watching the Super Bowl or, March Madness, and I see those players when they're winning and the sheer joy on their face. I'm like, I can say that I was an athlete and I have experienced winning a national championship, and not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times, but 4. And it's something to be super proud of, and that I definitely will be like the mom that tells my kids about it over and over again, and they'll be like, well, Mom, we've seen the rings, we saw your necklace, we get it.
Well, it's great. And now you're doing the pageant thing, and we, first of all, tell us about Mrs. Collin County.
So yes, that's why I'm wearing the sash today. I am the current reigning Mrs. Collin County, and I will be competing for Mrs. Texas America, hopefully, fingers crossed, on April 14th and 15th. Obviously, we all know about the pandemic that's happening, and it has such a huge effect on the world, but it has small effects too, like moving pageant dates, which has happened often. But I hope to grace the stage and bring home the title for Collin County of Mrs. Texas. And then Mrs. Texas goes on to compete at Mrs. America. And, the winner of Mrs. America actually goes on to compete at Mrs. World. So my main goal is to first bring it home for Collin County and then go and represent our state at Mrs. America.
Does that, that it blows my mind, and not to, because obviously everybody knows Brooklyn, she's awesome, she's talented, she's a great person. What you see is what you get. But what would that mean to you deep down inside to be Mrs. Texas? Because, hey, doesn't get much bigger than the Lone Star State. To hold that honor, that's pretty prestigious. If you're able, and we have no doubt you have a great chance to win that.
Well, thank you. But you said the right word. It would be a true honor and truly a lifelong goal come true. I don't say dreams, because dreams are just something that you think of, but a goal is something that you put into place. And that is what I've done as being Mrs. Collin County. I am, you might not know, but I am a wife of a veteran, and I have a bonus son, my stepson, who is an active duty Marine, and he's stationed at Camp Lejeune right now. So with my title of Mrs. Collin County, I have been partnering with 22 Kill, which is a nonprofit organization that helps combat suicide rate in our veterans and in our first responders. So I feel like my duty as a veteran wife and as a military mother is to keep my family alive. And I can do that by using my voice as Mrs. Collin County, and I intend to continue to do it as Mrs. Texas. And if I get that opportunity, I just know that, you know, as one person and one voice, you can. But when you have an organization behind you like Mrs. America, people will listen. And that's what I really, really want to do.
Absolutely. I'm a proud Marine father-in-law. My son-in-law, Joe, and my daughter, Madison, they live on Beaufort at Laurel Bay, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's I trust me. I know exactly how you feel. They're very, very proud. Let's talk about something else too that's near and dear to both of our hearts. You're a Big Brother fan, just like I am, and you know we're still waiting to find out if they're going to have the All-Star season this year in Brooklyn. You know, I tried out for Big Brother in 2011. They had the tryouts in Arlington, and I whizzed through it. I mean, answered every question correctly, and they were like, "Hey, if you want to go to LA for the second round of questioning and testing, you know, we'll send you next week." And I'm like, "Well, we have a playoff game in Odessa on Tuesday,
oh, gosh.
so I don't know how that's going to work." And looking back now, my biggest regret is not going. Everybody in the office is like, "Tommy, we would have held your job for you. That's an opportunity for you." I know you love Big Brother too.
Yes.
Who are some of your favorite players? And did you ever try out, or would you still consider trying out for Big Brother?
You know what, Tommy? I'm going to drop a bomb on you that no one knows, nobody, but I'll tell you because why not? I actually tried out for Big Brother this season. That does not exist yet.
Wow.
Yeah, so I submitted a video. Like Tommy said, I have been a huge Big Brother fan, and we used to talk about it in the office. We would, you know, have the little live feed up sometimes and see what was going on in the house. And my husband and I have watched it. I got him hooked about 7 seasons ago. And it's just like our fun summer thing that we do. And so my heart is so broken that season 22 has not yet happened and really don't know what's happening. I know you probably have heard the rumor of All-Stars and things like that, but I did submit a video. I did get a call from them, and I was going actually the weekend that everything shut down. May 7th through the 9th, I think, or March, back in March, we were actually in San Antonio because I was going to the open casting. And we were in San Antonio as a family, and, you know, I kind of masked it as just a spring break trip. But the real reason we were there was because I was going to go to the open casting, and it got canceled the night before because everything. That's when the ECHL shut down, the NHL, MLB, you know, everything. So it was a little heartbreaking, and a part of me feels like, gosh, I missed out on what could have been the best summer of my life. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. I definitely would love the opportunity to be a house guest. I already got like my game plan in place for who's going to help take care of what kid all summer. And I think that I feel like I would be good at it too. I think we all that are fans think that we'd be good at the game until we're thrown into it, but we'll see what happens.
Well, you tell Eddie, if you get on that show, I'll help him watch the kids. I will be a babysitter helper there because, oh man, that would be so awesome. I love, when Cassie was on a few years ago, and obviously Cassie from Allen, we knew Cassie very well. My daughter was really good friends with James Juling, who was on a few years ago from Wichita Falls. So, I've known some people over the years that have been on the show, and I'm telling you, it's always going to be my favorite show. I can see you on that show. You have exactly what it takes. You have the right personality. And I think if push came to shove, they better not mess around with Brooklyn, because I could see you getting in there and getting your fist a little dirty with the rest of them.
I'm a tough cookie, and my workout game is pretty dang strong right now. And to be a pageant girl, you have to have a competitive spirit. Everyone does it for a greater good. Your platform, just to make a difference in your community. But you also do it because you're competitive and you have to like to win. And so when it comes to Big Brother, I feel like they would see me as this sweet little mama, and I would cook for them and make sure the house was clean. But the next thing you know, I'm just everybody's best friend that's ended up in the top 3, and now I'm about to take it home. So I was mutual friends with Catherine Dunn, Cat Fun.
Yeah.
She's in the dance world. So when you're in the dance world in Dallas, you kind of know everybody. So it was
Sure.
fun last season, see her do so well, and people kind of put her down and they were like, there's no way this crazy, ditzy blonde is going to do much. But she's a smart cookie. She is super smart, extremely sweet. I love following her now because she does live interviews on Instagram with former house guests and things like that. So it's been fun during quarantine to follow her and, kind of get some insider tips and things like that. So we'll see. I mean, I am definitely open to it. My husband thinks I'm absolutely crazy to shoved in a house for 100 days. But honestly, I'm a mom of 3 and I've been quarantined. There is nothing harder than being here in this house. So I'm like, please take my cell phone away and put me in a house where I can, be myself and honestly win $500,000.
That would be awesome. Well, you know what? First of all, go win at Mrs. Texas, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. Keep us updated too, if you will. And if anybody wants to follow you on social media that doesn't, is there a way that they can follow you?
Absolutely. So I run my own boutique. So I have 1720 Boutique. It's a women's clothing business, and I also do like gift items as well. So you can find me at 1720boutique.com. And then on Instagram, I am just Mrs. MRS Brooklyn Rivera. I'm on there all the time. I do stories, fun things. You'll see a bunch of workout stuff, kids stuff, 22 kill stuff. And I did want to mention, if you are a veteran or even a first responder or frontline essential worker, 22 Kill has a 24-hour crisis assistance line right now. That number is 979-221-2350, and you just ask for the crisis line. There is never a good time to be alone in trying to get through something. So let them help you. I would be honored to speak to anybody. There's also virtual peer meetings going on as well. So they call it their tribal council. So they usually meet in person, but because of the pandemic and social distancing, everything's virtual. So if you have access to a computer, go to 22kill.com and sign up for one of those virtual classes. We do the One Tribe Family class. So we would love to have you in that.
Well, you know what? It was great catching up with you today. We got to talk about so much. Your days with the Americans, what you're doing now, what your hopes are here for, the coming future, seeing your family grow, and so proud of you. And I personally miss you. We had so many great times when you were around the office. But the good news is, thank you. We finally connected to do this. I know we've been trying to get together for a while, but it worked out. And best of luck on everything.
Thank you so much for having me, Tommy. I miss you guys. Hopefully the season starts and fans are going to be in the stands. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you and the team, and I hope to maybe be on the ice soon with a Mrs. Texas sash on and sing the anthem for you guys.
We do too. Good luck, and keep us posted on everything, okay?
Thank you.